So I used to make $250,000 a year selling ads on yellow page paper like this. And then I quit that job and I make over $1 million a year selling paper. Hey, what's up guys? So my name is Graylan Stewart. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm talking about wholesaling real estate. Yes, I literally sell paper for a living now. I quit the corporate world about 10 years ago, selling yellow page ads to local business owners, and I did great at that. But if you're new to my channel, my name is Graylan Stewart. I'm a virtual wholesaler, which means we actually wholesale houses nationwide for profit. What that really means is we get a contract with a seller, and then we sell that contract to an end buyer that actually wants to flip the house or keep the house as a rental, and we get paid as the middleman for just selling the contract itself. So yes, it's true. I actually was one of the top sales reps in the industry. I worked for the biggest independent yellow page company in the United States, and I worked there for about 8 years. And so I typically made between 200 and 250 when I was there, and I saw writing on the wall towards the end of my career that kind of yellow page industry itself was dying. So I was trying to figure out what can I do different, where I can still use my skill set of sales, because sales and marketing is really, if you think about it, everything that we do is all sales driven. Okay, whether you're asking your parents for $20 to go buy something, or you're trying to court a woman in potentially marriage one day, or if you're selling yourself on an interview to try to get a job. So everything we do in life typically is sales, okay? So if you're good at sales, you can pretty much get whatever you want in life, okay? So yes, I really went from selling yellow page ads in a phone book similar to this one to mom and pop business owners, which was a great job. I had somewhat freedom, made a lot of money. I was always in the top 1% in the entire industry. Out of 600 reps, I was usually in the top 5 every single year. So I was good at what I did for sure. But at the same time, there was still someone to answer to, still selling, over $1 million a year in yellow page ads, and I only got to keep $250,000 of that, which is a great gig. Not complaining. It was great while it lasted, right? 8 years. So I left that entire industry because I wanted to get paid what I was worth. So I figured if I opened my own business, still selling ads to mom and pop businesses, but not yellow page driven, but I started a magazine is what I did. So it was a local magazine that I direct mailed out to the community, and I sold ads in there to business owners, and they paid for those ads. Therefore, I made a profit on anything I made over what the cost of print and artwork and that kind of thing was, and the mailing. So that's what I did for a long time. I did that for another 7 years or so before I discovered wholesaling. So I've been wholesaling now for 3 years. I just started getting burned out on selling to mom and pop businesses, trying to figure out how can I use my skill set even better, because it was a grind. You're always trying to get that new customer and trying to hold revenue, if you will. I was doing pretty good in that business, making about $50,000 a month, and it was at least 50 to 60% profit margin. So I was doing really good, clearing $25,000 to $30,000 typically every single month. So it was good. It was better than the corporate world. At least I was doing it on my own terms, working when I wanted to. The revenue was mine, so I didn't have to do as many sales. I didn't have to close as many deals as I needed to in the corporate world, and I didn't have managers always expecting me to outperform everybody else. So the pressure was gone too. But at the same time, the pressure was a little higher, because now it's like, okay, I go sell or I starve, literally. So that's what I did. But anyways, I was getting burned out on selling to mom and pop businesses. You can only sell so many ads to so many different businesses, throughout the community. It was just trying and difficult, and it got to the point to where if I lost a customer, I didn't care as much. I wasn't as motivated to go get that new customer to replace that revenue. Plus, if I wanted to grow the business, I not only had to replace the revenue I was losing, I had to gain customers to actually grow and make a bigger spread, right? So that just got tiring. That's when I ran into wholesaling real estate. And I found out to where, man, you can actually get a property under contract and sell that property for a profit at a higher price. And that's what I figured out, to where I can actually sell paper literally for a profit. So that's what I do now. We try to sell at least 10 wholesale deals every month, and our minimum fee is what we like to make is $10,000 per deal. And sometimes we make way more than that. We've sold them for up to $50,000, and we've made way less. I've made a couple of $1,000s on the deal before, but on average we try not to go under 10. But technically, our average for 2021 is right around $17,000 to $20,000 per deal, I think, is where we're at currently. But we also end up flipping houses. We typically have about 5 flips going on at the same time, and obviously for long-term wealth building reasons, I want to keep properties as well. So I do keep a handful of houses, along the way, so I can build that long-term legacy wealth. So we get that cash flow monthly and have appreciating assets that we also can depreciate to offset those taxes that we're getting from those huge, paychecks that we get wholesaling real estate. But anyways, it is simple in concept, but it's definitely not easy. But if you make it into a business that you can actually scale, putting systems and processes in place, then you can definitely sell a piece of paper for $10K or more over and over and over, and keep duplicating that as many times as you want to. And it's not as hard as you think once you have systems, processes, and the right people in place to make that happen. So anyways, that's kind of my story. Yes, I definitely went from selling yellow page ads to selling regular contracts, which is just a piece of paper. One simple, one page contract is the difference maker. And it only takes a couple of those a month to actually replace the income that I had in previous life, you know what I mean? But we do way more than that. So doing over $1 million a year in wholesaling real estate compared to $250,000 a year selling and pushing yellow page ads was a huge difference maker for me. And even merging into selling my actual magazine ads, it was the same gig but for myself, right? It's way better, way more fulfilling. I get to help homeowners, better their life because they're getting rid of a problem house, right? We're making an in-between spread, which is great, and I'm also helping an investor on the end game to where they're wanting to flip to make a bigger profit or keep it as a cash flowing asset. So anyways, wholesaling real estate has definitely changed my life. Wouldn't change it for the world. You definitely got to, once you start building that, and it's becoming a big cash machine for you, you definitely got to diversify as far as start flipping, start keeping more of those houses so you can have long-term wealth. Don't just be a one-trick pony. Don't just stay on the hamster wheel forever, because wholesaling is just just a better paying job. And at the end of the day, but if you make it a system, it's a better paying job that actually pays you without you having to work into it. But at the same time, offset that big giant income with cash properties that you can actually cash flow every month, which will appreciate over time if you keep them long term. And you can write those off for like 27 and a half years. So it offsets those taxes. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. Hopefully you got value in that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.